Hey everyone, welcome back. So today it occurred to me that I actually didn't rank the songs from Can't Buy a Thrill in my video on that album. And I think I intended to at some point, but I think I just never got around to it, and the video turned out long enough as it is. But the result of that is that I actually thought of a new idea for a series on this channel. So going forward, whenever I cover an album in a video, I'll put out another video shortly afterwards like this one, where I go through and I put all the songs into a nice little algorithm-friendly tier list and try and rank them all. And I'm doing this for a few reasons. Firstly, it gives me a chance to sort of talk about these songs in a bit more of a concise, casual manner, which I know a lot of people prefer. I certainly wouldn't blame anyone for not wanting to watch an hour-long video essay on just one album. Secondly, it gives me a chance to sort of clear up or address any issues or mistakes I made in the video, or any questions that come up, if any do come up. And thirdly, it might be a way to sort of get some guests on at some point, and we can talk about the songs together and compare our tier lists. But that's all for the future. Also, this is obviously, if you can't tell already, me experimenting with unscripted, sort of more free-form, loose content. So if I pause or stutter or say or R at any point, try and be kind to me. This is the second time I'm ever doing this. So, but yeah, without further ado, and this will be linked in the description, by the way, this tier list I've made. If you want to make your own, and feel free to, and send it to me. I don't know how you would do that, but feel free to do it. Anyway, let's dive in, shall we? Do It Again. So yeah, Do It Again. I said this in the video. This is my favourite song on the album, pretty comfortably. I don't think it's going to be any surprise. In fact, I'll just put it straight in S tier. I won't unnecessarily create suspense. It's just going straight in S tier. Yeah, no, this is easily my favourite song on the album. It's not even really close. I mean, this is a bit close in the top 2 or 3, but yeah, Do It Again. It's just an excellent opener, an excellent song. I love the way that it is just, it's so perfect for this album. It's everything, I think I said this in the video, it's everything I love about Can't Buy a Thrill done right. It's the perfect Can't Buy a Thrill song in my opinion. It's got those Latin elements, it's got that sort of more classic hard rock, well not hard rock, sorry, but more sort of classic rock edge to it. It's got some great playing from the original band. It's obviously, especially in the solos in the middle, Denny Diaz's solo is excellent, and so is Fagen's. I really like Fagen's, actually. It's got a sort of unique lyrical aspect to it, not less so in terms of subject matter like some of the later songs on this album, but more so in terms of I won't say quality because that implies I think the lyrics are bad, just more so it's sort of a lack of specificity. It's almost like a little opening teaser in terms of addressing these 3 sort of archetypal Steely Dan characters, but in a very sort of vague way. They don't go into as much depth, as much detail, and yeah, especially just the playing and the melody and the songwriting. It's so catchy. Dirty Work. Yeah, so Dirty Work is another. It's like a polar opposite reaction from Do It Again, but yeah, I'm not going to build any suspense here. It's going into D tier. It's a very popular song, Dirty Work, obviously, but not one I've ever really been able to get into at all. It's mainly down to David Palmer's singing, but I would say David Palmer's singing is a consequence of the overall vibe of the song. It's a very sort of sentimental, sort of saccharine, very sort of earnest feeling performance, and I get that that's part of the ironic edge that they're going for by sort of being subversive, especially if you read the lyrics and see that they still have that sort of Steely Dan nature to them, but I've just never been able to get into it musically. I mean, it has a very nice horn section and an excellent saxophone solo, but other than that, I've never really been able to enjoy the song on the level some people are. And it's definitely not one that I come back to, so it's comfortably one of my least favourite songs on the album, one of my least favourite Steely Dan songs, and so I'll just put it in D tier. Kings. So yeah, Kings is the first one here where I sort of have a more sort of complex feeling about it than just this song is really great or this song is really not for me. Kings is one that's definitely grown on me. I mean, when I used to not like this album a lot more than I do now. Kings was definitely one of the ones that I just paid no mind to at all, but over time it's really started to grow on me. I really like the sense of drama to it. I really like the uniqueness. Well, it's not very unique on this album because there are like 3 or 4 songs like this, but the uniqueness in Steely Dan overall of it being sort of political, being sort of topical lyrically. I really like the playing. I really like the sort of sense of scale and drama that comes especially from Fagen's keys, but also from sort of the more subtle instrumental choices. I think there's some like bells used on there. I don't know, I use this word a lot, but the drama of the choruses is something that really appeals to me and I think really suits this song. So I'm going to put this song in, I'm going to put it in B tier for now, but it might move up. Midnight Cruiser. So yeah, like I think I said this in the video, Midnight Cruiser was like my favourite song ever when I was like 3, maybe even younger. I used to get kind of obsessed with certain songs for short periods of time and sort of start singing around the house crudely misunderstood versions of the lyrics. But since then, Midnight Cruiser has probably gone down a bit in my estimation, unlike most of the songs which have kind of gone up, generally, broadly speaking. Yeah, it's not one of my favourites on the album. I do like the lyrics a lot, obviously. I delved into that in the video, talking about, like, it's probably the first foray into that world, into that sort of oeuvre of, like, mysterious, esoteric characters with these very, unique choices of name drops and references to New York, references to jazz. There's a lot of pathos in there, which is always appreciated, but musically I wouldn't say it's bad, because I definitely like the song. It's not like Dirty Work where I have a negative sort of reaction to what they're doing musically. It's more so just, it's catchy, it's fun, I enjoy listening to it, but I don't really connect with it all that much. I don't think of it as a particularly great example of what Fagen and Becker can do as songwriters. I think it's very sort of, I wouldn't say generic or unsophisticated, because those are sort of judgmental terms, but I would say it's, as far as Steely Dan goes, they can do a lot more. They can definitely do a lot more. I'm going to put this one in C tier for now, but if Kings moves up, it might move up too. Only a fool would say that. So yeah, this is a track that's grown on me a lot. It's grown on me more than most of these songs have. In fact, I'm gonna preemptively just straight put it into into S tier. I seem to have a sort of a thing for Steely Dan incorporating Latin music into their songs. I think that's maybe a bias I have, or a preference I have at least. Evidently from this top 2. Lyrically, I've sort of grown a bit tired of talking about Only a Fool Would Say That, even though it has some great lines. It's been talked about so much, the whole debacle, or the whole debate over, are they talking about John Lennon here, or what's going on? Is this them talking, or is this a character talking? Because, obviously, usually Donald Fagen and Walter Becker don't sing their songs from their own perspectives. But anything is possible, especially on this album where they were trying out a lot of stuff. But regardless, musically it just is so fun. It's so uplifting. It's one of those songs you just put on at any time and it will never fail to lift your mood. At least for me, it never fails to lift my mood. And I don't know if this is like a weird comparison, but it gives me a similar feeling to like Florida Room from Kamakiriad. Just a very sort of, it feels warm, it feels summery, it feels like the beach. I feel like I should be listening to this on the beach, or on a yacht, perhaps. Hashtag Steely Dan are yacht rock. Reelin in the Years. This might honestly be my most controversial Steely Dan opinion, is that I don't really care for this version of Reelin in the Years. I like it more than some of the songs on this album, don't get me wrong, but it would sit comfortably in my bottom half rankings of the songs on this album. It's not a bad song fundamentally. As I said, I really, really like the version on Live in America. I think it's part of the reason why so often like the melody and the tune of this song gets stuck in my head is that song. It's really brought into focus how good and sharp the songwriting is. And obviously, credit is due to Elliot Randall, who nailed on a first take an excellent solo that is undeniably very technically impressive. But yeah, it's one of those songs where it's much more about personal preference than any substantial criticism I have. I don't know, man, the guitar tone on this song has always clashed with me. I've never been able to appreciate it. I've found it far too... I've never been able to find the words to place it quite. I think I used the words like squealing and crunchy in the video, but for lack of better ones. It's just very high pitch. Doesn't work for me, but I like it a lot more than I like Dirty Work. I'm going to put it in C tier. Just behind Midnight Cruiser, I would say. Fire in the Hole. Probably like the definitive like mid-ranking song on this album for me. There's a lot I like about the song. I find it very fun and catchy, but it's never been one that's particularly cemented itself in my mind, unlike Only a Fool Would Say That or Do It Again. It's just a good song. It's well written. The lyrics are great. It's got some great lines in there. Very interesting lyrics as well, because, you know, like Kings or Only a Fool Would Say That, it's kind of topical. It's a fun song, but never been one that I found a whole lot in besides that. So I'm going to put it in B tier, behind Kings, but above Midnight Cruiser. Brooklyn Owes the Charmer Under Me. Yeah, so this song I was kind of very cruel to in my video. I just thought of a couple of like lines that I thought were too good to leave out, even though they were very mean-spirited, unlike the rest of it where I was diplomatic kind of. I tried to be as not objective as possible, but as like fair in my criticism as possible, even of the songs I didn't like. But Brooklyn got a lot of flack from me, and I wouldn't say it's unfair, because I don't really like this song, but it's you know, it's not a terrible song by any means. I don't dislike it any more than some of the other tracks on this album. I don't object to this song. I find it just far too middle of the road. I find it very sort of bland is the main thing. I find it very bland. It's another thing where it's like, it's more personal preference. I just don't really like what they're doing here musically. And I don't like David Palmer's vocals, as I've said before. I find him irritating as a vocalist, but yeah, that's obviously personal preference. He's a fine vocalist. I just clashes with my taste. So I'm gonna put it just above Dirty Work, I think. Change of the Guard. My underrated shout from this album. I really like Change of the Guard. It's one of those songs, a bit like Do It Again, where even when I didn't like this album, I always liked Change of the Guard. I find it a lot of fun. I find it very catchy. I find it really underrated. I see a lot of people say they don't like this song, saying they would swap it out for some of these outtakes that we'll get to soon. But I really like this song. In fact, I'm going to put it straight in A tier. Like, it's a top 3 song on this album for me. And that might be my most controversial take in the whole thing, actually. I don't know. Reelin, The Years, and Dirty Work, they don't always get a lot of attention or love from the more deep hardcore fans, but Change of the Guard doesn't either, so it might be more controversial for me to say I like that song a lot than to say I don't like those songs very much. So I don't know, we'll see. Turn That Heartbeat Over Again. Yeah, so Turn That Heartbeat Over Again is another one where I was pretty clear and succinct about my thoughts on this song in my video. It's my least favourite Steely Dan song. I won't sugarcoat it. It's going to go straight to the bottom. In fact, I might just quickly swap out Dirty Work and Brooklyn, because I think Dirty Work has a lot more going for it, even though I don't like either of them. But yeah, Turn That Heartbeat Over Again. I find something very weird about this song. It's a very strange song. Obviously, they're clearly trying to be a bit obtuse and a bit weird and try out something different. I mean, it's the closing track on the B side of the album that's mostly kind of front-loaded in terms of the more poppy, more approachable tracks. So they wanted to include some stuff that's a bit more like their earlier work, I suppose. In fact, I think this song did come from those earlier years. But yeah, no, I don't like this song. I don't like how it stops and starts all the time. It feels a lot longer than it is because it's constantly stopping and switching. I don't like the sort of weird hard panning of Fagen's vocals. I brought that up in the video too. And I overall, I just find it far too obtuse and far too strange. It's like it's trying to be difficult. It's trying to be too weird and quirky. And I don't think that sort of like experimental, really kind of weird thing really works in this instance. I don't think it's just really not for me. Dallas is kind of a weird one because it's a rarity, but it's also not. because it actually gets quite a bit of attention now. I think it has like 100-ish thousand views on YouTube, because Skunk brings it up all the time in his interviews. He's always talking about how he wishes they had left it on the album. Personally, I mean, I wouldn't swap it out maybe for most of the tracks on this album, but I get it. It's a fun tune. It is very country rock. It's far more country rock than even like, you know, even Brooklyn, which I think I called country rock in my video. The influence there is far more subtle than on Dallas, which is very overt. I mean, it even has like steel pedal guitar solo. It's not the sort of song that I would actively go out of my way to listen to, because it's not personally to my taste, but I can appreciate what they're going for. I think I can appreciate that it's well recorded, it's well played. I think Hodder's vocals suit the song a bit more maybe than Midnight Cruiser, and I think it's fair enough that, you know, Skunk appreciates this song and wants to spread the word of its existence, wants to talk about it. So I might I don't know. I'm not gonna put it up here, but I might put it above Brooklyn. Sail the Waterway. So Sail the Waterway was obviously like the other single, the other side to the single, which is also extremely difficult to get, obviously, because it was a total flop, and they'd never included it anywhere else. It's a little bit more bland than Dallas, because Dallas, you know, it kind of has something going for it in the fact that it's a really heavily country rock inspired Steely Dan song, whereas Sail the Waterway is a little bit more average, in my opinion. I do like, you know, obviously the fact that this is the first Steely Dan song Fagan sings on, technically, if you look at it broadly, chronologically. But yeah, other than that, not a whole lot I would say about this song. And I might put it above Turn That Heartbeat Over Again, but below Brooklyn. Gully Water. Now, Gully Water, yeah, there's a lot of... I actually really like the Can't Buy It Through outtakes a lot more than I thought I would. And Gully Water is one of those songs. It's not my favourite of the outtakes, but it's a lot of fun. Very heavy, a lot heavier than anything on the album. But it works, I think. I could definitely see this on the album. Maybe not as a perfect fit, but I could see it working. I'm just going to put that... I might put it there for now. Yeah, I like Gully Water. It's weird. It has some like weird choices on it. I don't know why for a demo they would even bother to include something like as subtle as a water sound effect. I think they're kind of silly, kind of gimmicky, but other than that, it's a lot of fun, this song. Mega Shine City. Mega Shine City is, yeah, obviously eventually became Talking About My Home, which has always been probably one of my least favourites on the Lost Gout Show, and it's likewise one of my lesser favourites on these outtakes. I would like to hear it, how it was performed live, especially just the interesting like way in which it was designed specifically for Palmer to sing, obviously, as he took over for the tour. I would like to know how he sort of fit in here, because I personally don't think he would be a great fit for this song, but it would be interesting to hear. I think it would work a lot better as a live song. It's a song that feels like it has a lot of energy, feels like it's designed for a sort of extended sort of jam-based live performance, and so as a result, this sort of half-completed studio demo, you can see what they're going for, but it doesn't quite work, in my opinion. It needs that sort of live element to really work. So, you know, here's hoping we eventually get some surfaced 1972 Steely Dan live recordings, eh? I'm gonna put it... Oh, where am I gonna put it? I might put it... there? Or there? Yeah, I might put it there for now. Running Child. Out of the four of the pieces that never made it onto Thrill, probably my least favourite. It feels very sort of standard. Yeah, I feel like I don't have an awful lot to say about Running Child, at least I didn't in the video. It's very sort of basic tune, really. It's catchy, you know, it's fine. I wouldn't object to it if it had been on the album, but it's not anything special, really. I'm just gonna put it there. Yeah, I'm gonna put it there, because Turn That Heartbeat Over Again is like kind of quirky. In fact, I'm gonna bump Heartbeat up. Actually, maybe even there. Sakka Joweda. So, yeah, Sakka Joweda, and this isn't like this isn't like a hot take. Sakka Joweda is pretty well liked. I think it has quite a lot of views on YouTube. Probably my favourite one outtake from the album. I'm gonna put it there, just behind Midnight Cruiser. Really catchy tune. Probably the one with the most interesting lyrics of the four of them. One that feels the most complete. Like it's got a full like backing vocals section. It's got basically everything. It kind of feels like a complete song already. It's not difficult to imagine what it would have sounded like on Thrill. I really like the chorus of this song. I find it very catchy. I find myself singing it quite a bit. So yeah, Sakka Joweda's definitely my favourite of the demos, of all of the outtakes, actually. Stay There. Yeah, look, there's nothing really to say about Stay There. It's like a 15-second guitar jam. I'm just gonna put it straight at the bottom. It doesn't even really count. It's just like a literal, like, piece of studio chatter, really. Any World That I'm Welcome To demo. So yeah, like I said, this is the second of the Any World demos, which, you know, not exactly... of all the Steely Dan songs that could have 3 iterations that I need to listen to and review in this series, I'm not thrilled that it's Any World, but still, nonetheless, it's a good song in its completed state. Not one of my favourites, but it's fine. But in this one, it feels, yeah, it's very bland. It feels pretty uninvolved from its original demo. Doesn't feel like a whole lot has changed. So I'm gonna put it there. Everyone's Gone to the Movies demo. So this demo is a lot more interesting than the Any World demo. It feels like an actual, like, different take on the song. It feels kind of unique and special, unlike that one. It's very weird. It's a quirky little piece. It's a quirky little rendition of their song. Definitely the lesser of the 2 versions, but you can see some of the early DNA of that song in there, and it's got its own sort of unique spin on it. Yeah, I can see why Fagan and Becker were maybe not happy, but, you know, they were willing to concede to have it on Citizen. So I might put this one. I might put this one here, actually. Midnight Cruiser alternate take. Once again, this one doesn't really count. In fact, these 2, I don't really know why I kept them on here. But I might just put this one there, not because the song itself is bad, because it's just Midnight Cruiser, which I've already discussed that I like, but, you know, there's just not a whole lot to say about it. The Schlitz beer commercial. I mean, it's not really fair that I included this in this video, because it's clearly the best song Steely Dan ever made. Well, I mean, what more can you say about this that hasn't been said already? I mean, you know, it was kind of downhill after they made this. You know, when they started making all that, you know, terrible jazz crap like Asia and Gaucho, you know, that was just... everyone was just going, why can you not make more Schlitz beer commercials? Okay, just quickly, before I make the final ranking, I'm just going to do a little bit of tidying up. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. Yeah, this is my ranking of the of every song, all 21 songs that I covered in my previous video. So, from best to worst, we got Do It Again, Only a Fool Would Say That, Change of the Guard, Kings, Fire in the Hole, Midnight Cruiser, Sakka Joweda, Gully Water, Reelin in the Years, Dirty Work, Dallas, Brooklyn Knows the Charmer Under Me, Turn That Heartbeat Over Again, Everyone's Gone to the Movies demo, Mega Shine City, Sail the Waterway, Running Child, Any World That I'm Welcome To demo, and the Schlitz beer commercial, and then 2 that don't really count, Midnight Cruiser alternate take and Stay There. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you agree with me on, what you disagree with me on. Let me know what you think of this video, if you want me to keep doing these. I mean, I probably am anyway, but, you know, let me know. Obviously, this is just the first episode. These are going to get better as they go along, as I get more used to recording without a script. But yeah, for now, that's all, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.